I think it's since the Budget Act was passed back in the mid-70s, there have been very, very rare instances in which, well, there have been very, very rare instances where they've complied with it, but where neither the House or Senate has passed a budget resolution. Sometimes you'll have one pass one and the other one doesn't. But it doesn't look like, it certainly doesn't look like the Senate is working on one or would ever get there. And the House, it's really a political statement. They got themselves into a promise that couldn't be kept. If they'd checked the math, they would have known that. And now there's a lot of finger pointing and internal squabbling there among the leadership about how they get out of it. And the solution seems to be to blame Biden for not negotiating over the debt ceiling, which really doesn't prevent them from negotiating over appropriations. But where I'm headed with this is that there are going to have to pass appropriations bills at some point, or the government shuts down. What's your sense of where that's going to end up?
Well, I don't think it would be a great surprise if everything gets rolled in, because the appropriations levels will be a central focus for the debt ceiling. And there's even been some talk that House Republicans might pass a short-term debt ceiling increase to extend up to October 1st so that there can be one grand negotiation, although the White House has indicated no interest in that. And the White House position, I don't think, is unreasonable. The White House position has been, we put forward a budget, here are our priorities, here are revenue, here's our spending, now you present us with your plan. And House Republicans have been unable to do that because, as you said, Bob, there has been so much infighting. There have been press reports recently on, reports that Chairman Jody Arrington does not have the faith or the support of Speaker McCarthy, and Jody Arrington, Chairman Arrington, has drafted some budget proposals, but apparently does not have the support of his conference. And frankly, even if House Republicans on the Budget Committee could pass something out of committee, there's really very low likelihood they could pass it on the House floor. We can talk about the debt ceiling in a second, and I don't want to dominate what Steve and Tori give their perspectives, but I frankly think, I think that Speaker McCarthy is a weak speaker, and his caucus is so fractured that it's hard to imagine how a final agreement on the debt ceiling and appropriations bills will be able to pass that on the one hand has the support of the White House, and yet at the same time can pass the House of Representatives, even if there is a deal which passes the Senate. And I think that is feasible. I think that Mitch McConnell and Joe Biden could cut a deal. The House Republicans want to be at the at the House at the 2022 level, and the president obviously has a significant increase in discretionary spending. Somewhere you split the difference, or you go to the 23 level. But even if something were to pass the Senate with Republican support, it's just hard to see how it can get through the House, and yet Speaker McCarthy actually survives his speakership because he is so dependent on such a diverse body, particularly people on the far right. Even the House Rules Committee he does not control because Freedom Caucus members are there. So it's just not clear to me how you actually get something on the floor of the House that the House can pass, even if 218 House members want to vote for it.